Hey everybody, this is Perch, and let's talk about this Kickstarter blockchain thing, but more the reaction to it. And no, this isn't going to be an internet drama video. I'm really going to try and peel back the different layers as look at this, because the reaction to Kickstarter doing blockchain still is out of whack of what's actually going on. The reaction is weird, and I'll explain why I think so here in a second. But what prompted this is Jamila Rouser, who is according to her, is it her? I'm sorry. Yes, it is her. Ha ha! I have guessed the pronouns correctly. I have won a trophy for today. Anyway, she writes this tweet. I resigned as Kickstarter's comics outreach consultant due to their blockchain decision. It's been a rewarding experience, and I'm grateful to have helped creators fund projects. However, I can no longer advocate for them while staying true to myself and the community I love. It's got like 3,300 likes and 40 quote tweets and a bunch of retweets and everything else. I have one question about this, and the question I have is, what is a Kickstarter comic outreach consultant? Is this a paid position? Is this what is this exactly? I'm curious. Not It doesn't really play into this story, but I'm just kind of I'm curious, and the reason I'm curious is how much of Kickstarter's revenue, how much of what they make, has anything to do with comics. Obviously, there's been some Kickstarter comics out there that have been we all talk about them. It's been a big deal for us, but I get the sense Kickstarter thinks about comics in the same way that maybe Disney thinks about comics, which is not very often. Maybe I'm wrong there, but I don't get the sense that Kickstarter really views comics as a key part of their business. Now, you might say, no, they put out press releases, say they really respect the comic community of creators that have been using Kickstarter. Well, I mean, sure, but they've also put out press releases saying, we like the community of people that make art out of old tires and glue guns. I don't know if that press release is actually saying anything or means anything. But I may be wrong. I'm genuinely curious. That's why I was curious. What the comics outreach consultant is this a Kickstarter paid position? How much was it paid? It's offensive to ask somebody their salary, but I'm just very curious here. I can't imagine this was a paid job. But anyway, this was this tweet going out this morning, and I don't know if Jamila here has already changed her profile, but there's no mention of it anywhere. And when I scroll down, I don't see that much Kickstarter material. So I'm curious. Now, bear in mind, I'm not saying this because I'm like, oh, this person doesn't deserve a job or this person must not be doing their job. No, I'm saying it because when we look at this Kickstarter blockchain announcement, you're seeing all these creators going, I will no longer support Kickstarter. And I still maintain what I said before. A bunch of these jerks who are saying this are happily using blockchain today. Hey, do you have a Comixology original deal, Michael Conrad? Do you have one of those? Do you look at the creators who are doing Comixology originals? Okay? That's using blockchain. Sorry. That technology, that system, what you are doing there uses blockchain. If you are offering a comic book on Comixology, you are using blockchain. I don't know how. That's the part that mystifies me a little bit in all this. It's because on one hand it's hypocritical, right? But on the other hand, I have to be led to this. I played this game. I've mentioned this before, and it's a game that I like to play. I have a feeling not many of you probably like to play it, but it's called Evil or Stupid, or Evil or Dumb. And the way you play this game is you look at somebody's actions and you say, all right, was this person dumb, meaning doing it out of ignorance, or was this an evil plot of some kind? Was there malice here? Most of the time, dumb is the answer. It turns out a lot of people are dumb. And Occam's razor, all that kind of stuff fits. Stupidity is always a solid bet, but every now and then you get to evil. So when I look at this situation of people that are protesting blockchain and they're really upset about it, and they're never going to do anything with Kickstarter again, I wonder, are these people dumb in the sense that they really truly don't know that most of the technologies they are using to profit for themselves use the same technology. I do believe, by the way, because I've met people and I have people in my life who take stances that I don't agree with, but I always have mad respect for them if they truly live it. I mentioned in another video, I've got a friend, he's vegan, and he puts himself through absolute hell in order to he lives by his principles. And even though I'm not a vegan, I don't want to be a vegan, I have mad respect for that guy because he does what he says, right? In comics, I think if I will always respect. There's somebody out there was many of the people, by the way, who heard my videos about blockchain and all the rest, just either muted. I got some new people who blocked me. That's always fun. Not the people I called out, weirdly enough, but by name. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know what to say there. But one person is like, you are wrong. Blockchain, crypto, all this stuff is environmentally damaging. It's not going to get better from a technology perspective. You are wrong. I'm not wrong, by the way, but that's okay. Okay. But I have canceled my Netflix and Disney Plus subscription because I don't want to be supporting this at all. Now, I don't know if they actually did that, but I appreciated that somebody acknowledged the fact that, if I'm gonna be against this, I'm going all in. But I will say, even though I think if you're really true, and some of the hyperventilating over blockchain, people just going to extremes about Kickstarter doing this and ignoring all the other services that they use, you can't just, you can fight for a better world, and you don't have to give up food to say we should have, humane food production. I'm not, points, many points, and again, mad respect if you do. You are truly living by your values, but I don't, you don't have to go to extremes. Where I draw the line and why this particular issue bugs me so much is it's not just like, hey, I'm not going to use Disney Plus. It uses blockchain. I'm not going to watch content there. I'm sorry, I'm not watching Apple TV Plus. I'm not. I love Ted Lasso, but I'm calling it a day because I don't like blockchain that much. That's your own personal enjoyment. Where I draw the line is your profit. If you are actually selling, meaning you, a comic creator, is saying, you should support Kickstarter, don't support any of those campaigns, don't give any of those people your money, please buy my book on comiXology. That, to me, is the evil. That is you are a true hypocrite. You are profiting. You're not just enjoying, you're not just viewing. You're actually profiting off of a system you're telling other people not to use. That is a different story. So again, I go back to, evil or dumb. Is it possible these people don't know these things? Well, it's possible. Lots of people are dumb. I think you should, before you go out on a rant and try and take, somebody's livelihood away from them, I think you should at least do some, internal digging and make sure you're not doing this thing yourself. I think that's just good common sense. But when has good common sense ever, been part of the party with comics? But I think my theory is this. My theory is, and this is much worse, by the way, the people who are raging out and spazzing out about Kickstarter and say you shouldn't use it, you shouldn't do it, not for you, you can't, you're destroying the environment. I think they know damn well that they are profiting. They are actively using and being a part of the same system. I think they know. I think in their heads, they're thinking, you haven't earned it like I have. Because here's my theory. And again, this is conspiracy theory. This is where it'd be good. Like, this is where I'd love to throw this to somebody like Ron Mars, because he's had Kickstarters out there. I'd love to know, like, is this, again, crazy, or do I have a point here? Comics has always had this gatekeeping aspect to it. This, I made it, and once I'm in the club, I'm going to shut the door to the club, and you can't come in. That's always been the case. There's always been a healthy level of this. It's always gross, but it's always been there. This, what's good for me is maybe just good for me. not you. And I feel like that there's been a decent number of people who have been there's a fire truck trying to get through, or is somebody's trying to get through, and like everybody's like, okay, no, and nobody's letting this guy through. It's pretty crazy to watch. He finally burst through. But anyway, um, sorry for the distraction. I got ADD completely here. Um, I think that there's a group of people that want comics to be produced and delivered, and they want to own the market in their club. And for a period of time, Kickstarter was part of their club, but I don't think they like it. I think that there's a decent amount of people who, even though Kickstarter was part of their club, they really didn't, like, it was still too loose. Kickstarter was letting stuff through that, still now too free. And so I think they went after Indiegogo. Certainly, they went after people's private Patreons and everything else, because they can't allow those in. And I think they tolerated Kickstarter. But I think for several people, they've been kind of waiting for the opportunity to put a bullet in Kickstarter. And I think that's what we're seeing here. I think that Kickstarter has let in some other projects. I mean, you look at how people have bitched about things like Berserker and and those titles, and I just it smells to me like one more leap at gatekeeping. That's what this feels like. And I don't know, because otherwise I have to believe that people are really dumb. And again, people are dumb, but this is another level of dumb. This is actively, I mean, because you look like a massive hypocrite, like just the worst possible hypocrite in all this. And I don't think that's, I mean, granted, I don't know how much people care about some of that, but I mean, just you're within seconds, you're proven to be a douche. And so that's why I think that people are aware that their technologies, this stuff is there. I think they're aware, they're overreacting and shouting about this. I think they're aware that they're being hysterical about it, and I think they don't care, because I think in their heads it's, I earned it and these people didn't. And so I'm going to make these claims, and if anybody comes at me for them, then I'm just going to, continue to put up like, look, I'm being attacked. Oh, the internet hate mob's after me. They're attacking me. Oh my God. I'm, I mean, that's why unless you're a straight white male, you're easily able to play the I'm being bombed here card. But I think this is just another club gatekeeping technique. That's what I think. I don't believe. I have a hard time believing there's real care about the environment, particularly when, again, many of these people continue to. I mean, hell, several of them work for companies that are funded by blockchain crypto investors. You have to know that. People have pointed it out. But it's another attempt at, I'm in the club, I deserve to be in the club, I'm not going to respond to that. I'm enjoying my place of power, and I'm going to punch down at these people trying to come in. As much as we've made fun of the term, this is punching down. Sorry. You can say it's about the environment all you want, but you're not helping these people get to a better place. You're not helping these comic creators find another source to go do their comic. You're just telling them no. You're shutting the door. You're not pointing them somewhere else. I noticed that Zoop was saying like, "Hey, come over here. We'll take you over here." And I saw several people doing the, well, even if you go to Zoop, I'm not going to support you now that you've been part of this other system. This is not about the environment. This is about gatekeeping. That's my belief. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe, of course, and thanks for listening.